Closed captioning provided by the full-time MBA program in the Haslam College of Business. Learn, transform, lead. It all starts here. This is Tennessee.
I want the whole city of Knoxville to know that it's football time in Tennessee.
A passion that knows no equal. The heart and soul of the Volunteer State.
Show me you want to run the football.
Handoff gets to the outside. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Wow.
For the next 60 minutes, you're tuned to Vol Network coverage of the Tennessee Volunteers.
Football rewards those who wear your opponent out psychologically and physically.
The most celebrated of traditions.
When you step on the field, there must be a sense of purpose.
The pass is going to be caught. Unbelievable catch. Bang, he goes down back at the 23-yard line.
Let's go. I've been waiting for this one.
Fires for the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee.
I want to win for you.
Welcome to the Butch Jones Show, hosted by Tennessee head football coach Butch Jones and the Vol Network's Bob Kessling. Brought to you by the Big Orange Debit Card, only from the official Bank of the Vols, First Tennessee. By the 2015 Ford F-150, the future of tough is here, only at your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of Tennessee football. By Dish, home of the new 2-year TV price lock and official sponsor of the Big Orange. And by Farm Bureau Insurance. With agents in more communities than any other insurer, Tennessee turns to Farm Bureau Insurance, the official insurance of the Vols. Now, the Butch Jones Show.
By a score of 24-20. Coach, your overall thoughts on the game against the Razorbacks?
Many missed opportunities and opportunities to really get Arkansas out of their game. And we knew that it would be a red zone game going into the game. Red zone efficiency, scoring touchdowns would be critical and really have a big impact in the outcome of the game. And when we had 2 missed scoring opportunities in the red zone, you take a punt return off to, 7 points off the board, that really puts you behind. And, we've talked so much about closing games out, but not only in the fourth quarter, but really in the first half. And I thought we had an opportunity not to close the game out, but to really make it really, really difficult for our opponent. And we just didn't take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, the scoring opportunities in the first half, the fumble inside the red zone, missed field goal, that really turned the game around, didn't it?
Well, that was one of the key elements, a couple key elements, but not 1 or 2 plays. It's a combination of a lot. I also thought having 3rd and long at the end of the first half and we give up a draw play to the running back, a zone type play, and they're able to get 3 points before half. I thought that was very big as well.
But your defense kept you in the game. You had the ball a couple of times in the fourth quarter with a chance to drive the field and win it.
Well, they did. They gave us an opportunity to put ourselves in position to win the football game. They attempted the fake field goal. We knew something was up because they had changed kickers. They had changed some personnel, and our players did a great job of getting the football down. And then we drove the ball a little bit. But, again, we didn't make the plays at the stages of the game that we needed to.
Being backed up, though, in the fourth quarter made it tough.
We had 4 possessions the entire first half, all coming from the 25 in and having to drive the football, and that's a hard way to make a living.
It is. So Arkansas wins it. We'll show you highlights of it next here on the Butch Jones Show.
It's time to honor the Vol Scholar of the Week, brought to you by Volunteer Pharmacy. This week's Vol Scholar is junior quarterback Josh Dobbs. As a student athlete majoring in honors aerospace engineering, Josh Dobbs made time to gain practical experience last May by completing an internship with Pratt & Whitney, where he spent time testing jet engines for future use in military fighter planes. Pursuing excellence both in and out of the classroom is what makes Josh Dobbs this week's Vol Scholar of the Week. Brought to you by Volunteer Pharmacy. Save money. Use an independent pharmacy like us for your prescription needs.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's football time in Tennessee. Evan Berry's going to return this. He's at the 5, coming up the near side to the 15, 20, 25, 30. Breaks into the open at the 40, down the sideline to midfield, to the 40, to the 30. Evan Berry is going to take the opening kickoff all the way, 95 yards for a touchdown. His second of the year. He contained him at the 25-yard line and then turned on that sprinter speed.
Can't start a game any better than that. Evan Berry last night really got the crowd into it and got your team off to a great start.
Our special teams have been doing that all year, and particularly our kickoff return team. And Evan has great speed, and when we get him in the open field, we feel very confident that he's going to be able to outrun the opponent.
You know, when you go back and try and find a guy that wants, because you got to have a little daring in you to do that, how do you pick out a guy to return punts and then return kickoffs? Because it's a special breed.
Exactly right. It's all instincts. And Evan does a great job of really trying to steal the first 5 yards of return. It's all in how your shoulders, how you catch the football, and then how you can hit it moving forward. And really, kickoff return is really like a run play. And that's really how it's designed, like an off-tackle power play.
Got to have a little daredevil in you, though, don't you, back there?
Yes, you do. You have to be fearless, and he does a great job with that. And it's also the players wanting to block for you. And every time he goes back there, we have great confidence that we're going to be able to change field position.
Let's look at the highlights, and we can set up that opening kickoff return for the touchdown from Evan Berry, as over 101,000 fans at Neyland Stadium on Saturday night.
We'll start off, obviously, with the kickoff return. And what you'll see here is we have a double team at the point of attack. And then our players do a great job on the backside, and we call it speed to power. And everything is about your transition. You see the double team. We get a great block on the 20-yard line right there. And then we spring a hole, and then obviously he's going to beat the kicker and then finish it with his speed. Takes all 11 individuals coordinated, working as one unit. And that really got our crowd into it, got our fans into it. So you're up 7-0. Here's a 35-yard rush by Jalen here. He does a great job of bouncing it right here.
That's instincts, because that was designed to go to the right, wasn't it?
Oh, it is. And then what you see right here is Josh Malone up here at the point of attack, has a great block, and springs him for much more yards. So, again, very, very productive play. This one right here is a 7-yard rushing touchdown by Josh Dobbs. Again, we talked about winning in the red zone. He does a great job. They match up, man-to-man coverage, and then obviously it leads it, and then he creates, again, separation and finishes it. Very good awareness right here of getting the ball to the pylon as well.
So Dobbs gets the touchdown, and Tennessee goes up at this point 14-0 in the contest.
Next one, Bob, we'll have a play-action pass, and we're actually trying to hit the tailback, Jalen Hurd, up the shoot right here. They're in a cover 2 shell, which opens it up. Play action right at the Mike backer to hold him. And Josh does a good job of resetting his feet. And this is actually the 3rd read in his progression. And then the whole thing is what we call skimming the breastplate. We want to get the ball out there now. This becomes toss sweep. We want to get the ball out there to where the running back has square shoulders. And then we get Elvin in open field, and we feel very confident that he'll make the first defender miss in the open field.
He's pretty good in the open field, isn't he?
Very good. One of those things, red zone opportunities. So we settle for a 35-yard field goal. Again, they had been very, very good on their field goal block team at times. They'd substitute 2 to 3 offensive linemen in the game. And so we had to be really stout up the middle. You see to the right of the hash. And good snap, good hold, good kick.
And that puts Tennessee in front 17-14.
Again, when we talked about the return game, we let it off with Evan Berry. And then another weapon has been for us is our punt return game. And the great thing about it is we have 2 very able and very quality returners. Here's Cam Sutton right here. And again, Bob, you can see right here, which we just spoke about briefly in the segment, is everything is about your shoulders square, squeezing your elbows, and really catching it over the top of your head with your eyes up, and then being able to hit it. And right there we have a good seam. Again, really flips field position. That's actually the punter making the tackle there.
First thing he's got to do is catch the punt, and sometimes you got to find someone who can do that.
And I think catching a punt is one of the most difficult skills in all of sport, with all individuals running down to tackle you, and you have to have great concentration. Here's a 45-yard field goal, kind of a bank shot off the upright, and it was great to see Aaron make some big kicks for us. Again, play action pass. We're running verticals, and tight end is going to run a post route. And you can see right here, this is what we call a trap coverage down here in the boundary, and the corner is actually in run support. And so it puts that safety on an island, because really you got a 2-on-1 situation with the safety, and all the tight end has to do is win his matchup with the linebacker there.
Talk about Ethan Wolf's development too.
Well, he continues to progress, and you can see a very good catch. Very, very gifted in the run game, has soft hands. With the pass game, and he's done a very good job of really improving his blocking skills as well.
Big catch by Tennessee tight end Ethan Wolf.
Right here, big stop for us. Corey Vereen disrupts the running back here, tackle for loss. Again, everything is about the penetration here. You see the get off. We have the two baby defensive tackles inside. Khalil right here is basically getting double teamed, but then here's Jalen downhill and does a very good job. And again, everything is about disruptive quickness. We're on a line twist here with Corey Vereen, and he does a great job of really making the back bounce it, and then boom, creating a big play for us.
And Maven had 10 tackles again in this game.
Towards the end of the game, it's 3rd down and 13 here. We have a bunch set. Then we have an isolation backside with Josh Smith. Josh does a great job running the route, and then I thought Josh does a very good job in the pocket, hanging in there, and gives us a 1st down with an opportunity to win the football game.
That's one of his best throws of the night, but Arkansas wins the game, and I guess your biggest concern still is the consistency in the passing game.
Well, you're exactly right, and it's all 11 individuals. It's not just one entity of the offense, it's the entire group. And then also big plays. Against an Arkansas football team, you need to have big splash plays, and we didn't have very many big plays, and that's critical as we continue to move forward, is really when we have the opportunity for big plays, we need to take advantage of that.
Much of the fact that Tennessee's really excelled in special teams. We'll look at Tennessee's punter, Trevor Daniel, when we come back next here on The Butch Jones Show.
Time out to check the stats. Brought to you by Dish.
Single game heroics in big games on the national stage lay the foundation for players to become immortalized. Joshua Dobbs' performance against the Florida Gators last Saturday will be forever stamped in Tennessee's record book as a dominating individual display. Check the stats. Joshua Dobbs became the first player in college football since 2003 when James Killian led his Tulsa team against Hawaii to lead the team in 3 major stat columns. Dobbs started for 136 yards on the ground, threw for 83 yards, and had 58 yards receiving. That's 277 total yards against the Gators. For good measure, the Georgia native scored a touchdown as well.
Check the stats. Only Dish offers a 2-year TV price lock with no hidden fee. Learn more at dish.com/Vol. Catch the Vols on Dish, proud sponsor of the Big Orange.
The Butch Jones Show is being brought to you by Verizon. Come home to a better network. Verizon, official wireless provider of the Tennessee Volunteers. By UT Medical Center, Tennessee's hospital. UT Medical Center, wisdom for your life.
By the natural gas utilities and pipeline companies in Tennessee.
Natural gas.
And by Food City, the tailgating headquarters of Vol fans everywhere. Food City, value every day. The Vol Network now turns the spotlight on Team 119. Brought to you by Hyundai, proud supporter of college football and loyal fans everywhere.
His love for Tennessee started long before he stepped into Neyland Stadium for the first time.
I grew up watching them with my granddad at his house, and we'd watch them every Saturday.
Growing up a few hours away from Knoxville in Dixon, Tennessee, Trevor Daniel had his eyes on the Power T.
Seeing them on TV and the Power T on their helmets in the orange, I don't know, it was just something special. I told my granddad I was going to play for the Dixon Dragons, which is our middle school, and then the Dixon Cougars, which is our high school, and then Tennessee, and then the Titans.
Staying true to his word, Daniel knew playing at UT was next on the list, which meant putting in extra work after practice.
I would work on punting a lot on like the off days in off season because I wanted to take that to the next level. I had offers at other schools, but once Tennessee or Coach Meyer, once he got a hold of me and he offered me the walk-on spot, I just thought back to like when I was a kid and how much I wanted to be here, and I was really excited.
On the team, but Daniel knew he had to fight to earn his keep. So he learned from former Vol and current Miami Dolphins punter Matt Darr.
He's a great mentor. He would coach me up on the sidelines and during practice and help me out a lot.
Once Darr moved on to the next level, it was Daniel's opportunity for the taking.
Coach Meyer, right before the first day of spring ball, he was talking to me and he said, "This is your opportunity, take it by the horns."
So meet redshirt sophomore punter Trevor Daniel.
There's a driving spiral, a booming punt. What a kick.
Also known as the guy averaging 48.6 yards per punt, which is second in the SEC.
That's really shocking. I really didn't think I could do anything like that. I just thought I'd be a decent punter. I didn't think I'd be like this. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and just do my best.
Daniel gets a great roll.
Trevor Daniel changes field position constantly. He has booming punts and he's able to put them in the box, like we call it, where the returner's doesn't really have anywhere to go. So it's great to have that weapon on offense to know, even if we get stopped and get backed up, we're able to boot it out and change field position.
At a young age, Daniel had his eyes on the power T. Now at UT, he has his eyes set on being there for his team.
It's still crazy looking back and thinking that I was just a little kid that really loved watching Tennessee football, and now I get to be a part of it.
Trevor Daniel has been a key for Tennessee special teams. What a year he's having.
Well, he has, and going into the season, the punting game was a big question mark on our football team. And Trevor Daniel comes in and walk on and does a tremendous job. Right now, he's third in the NCAA in punting average with, I believe, 48.3, and that also includes some pooch punt opportunities as well. But the thing where he's made considerable growth since he's been here is just his overall level of consistency. He takes great pride in his performance. He's very competitive, and he works at his craft each and every day. And one of the rewarding moments I had this year was to be able to give him a scholarship.
You know, all championship football teams have to have a strong walk-on program, and Tennessee's been pretty good in that the last years, too.
Well, if you just look at the number of players that have come through our football program and have also been rewarded with scholarships, and that's what you need when you have 85 individuals on scholarship, and right now we don't have that. You know, we don't even have 80. So right now every walk-on is absolutely critical. And you look at Max Arnold, Colton Jumper, Trevor Daniel, which we just spoke about. Patrick Ashford is kind of an unsung hero. He's our holder who does a tremendous job. Alex Ellis, Joe Stockstill, Devon Swafford, all these individuals have come through our walk-on program and have really benefited Tennessee football.
You know, I remember just a couple of weeks ago when Joe Stockstill got his scholarship and just the whole team, how happy they were for him because he earned it.
Well, they have earned it. And we talk about when you're a walk-on, it's a little bit even more difficult because you have to earn everything that you get, and nothing is ever given to you. And just when they work so hard and then they get that scholarship, just to see the look in their eyes. But again, we want individuals that their goal just isn't to get a scholarship at the University of Tennessee, it's to win games and win championships at the University of Tennessee. And all these individuals that we spoke about, very, very proud of them. And then you look at Jacob Gilliam from last year as well. And so again, we have a very strong walk-on program.
Trevor Daniel has been a key to this Tennessee football team. When we come back, we'll look at Tennessee's offense here on the Butch Jones Show.
You're never too young to be a VFL. Sign up for the Junior Vols Club. For more information or to sign up for Junior Vols, visit utsports.com. Presented by the Knoxville Orthopedic Clinic. Proudly serving the University of Tennessee Athletic Department since 1949.
Dobbs back to throw, looks, still looks, takes off running to the 5. Dobbs making his way to the end zone, dives for the pylon on the far side. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Josh Dobbs running it in for a touchdown against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coach, your overall thoughts about the running game against the Razorbacks?
Very good job in the first half. Second half, obviously much improvement needed. Again, it goes back to the 4 possessions in the second half, but no matter where we're at starting field position, it starts with the ability to run the football. And I think if we could have hit some of the big plays down the field, that also opens up the running game as well. But Jalen Hurd right now, he's a great competitor. He's playing with great effort, great intensity, and it just doesn't happen on game day. It's his intensity throughout the course of the week, how he prepares his body, how he prepares his mind, and I've been very proud of him and Alvin Kamara as well. I thought our offensive line made some strides in moving forward. I thought we protected the quarterback better in terms of drop back passing as well.
Hurd has become that punishing runner that you expected him to be.
He takes great pride in his style of play, and we talk about it all the time, the high level of physicality that he brings, but really the desire. He gets a lot of desire yards, second, third effort runs, and right now he's playing with a lot of confidence, which he should, but I think he's one of the best backs in the country.
Indeed. Here's a look inside the offense with Vol for Life, Eric Ainge.
Thanks, Bob. We have 2 offensive plays that we're going to look at. The first one, actually both of them involve number 1, Jalen Hurd. Great run, down set Hut, here he goes, breaks outside, gets contained, great block at the point of attack by Jennings, great block outside by Malone, big 35-yard gain or something like that. So let's take a look at this right here, okay? We're actually going to teach some defense on this. Quarter, halves. Every week we talk about 1 robber, 2-man, cover 2, Tampa 2, cover 4, cover 6. What are they doing on defense, offense? Quarter, half, cover 6. Everyone calls it something different. This guy has the deep quarter right here. This guy, this safety, has this deep quarter. This safety has this entire deep half of the field right here. Now this boundary corner down here, and we won't snap it yet, but when the ball's snapped, you'll see how fast he is to get inside. We used to do this with Jason Allen all the time when he was the corner. We'd actually play what was called 2-trap, where he is predetermining that he's going to not blitz, but jump inside and be involved in the run support. So when we snap the ball right here, watch how fast flow when he sees run, down set Hut, bam, he's getting involved in the run, deep half, quarter. Now the 2 things that make this play go for us are, and I told you last week, when you want to know man or zone, look at the slot receiver, look at the slot defender. Is the nickel splitting the difference? Zone. Is he out here head up? Man. So we know we got zone right here by Jennings covering up the nickel slot defender, and by Malone getting this guy locked up right here. You'll see what happens right here. Down set Hut. We go get a great block. Boom, Jennings gets him. Now we have a 1-on-1 in space with Hurd and their safety from about 15 yards away. He should make that play just about every time. Which leads us right to the next one. 3rd and 6, pressure down. Get the ball out quick. We had a little bit of a hard time blocking him on some of the plays last night. Good call, get it to number 1 quick. So let's take it back right here to the very beginning. Looks like drop back pass, down set Hut. They're bringing pressure right here off the edge, 3 down front. Hurd slips him, and it's just a little quick screen to the running back right here on the edge. I want you to watch number 82 on this play. Watch him, he gets the first block, and when we take it back to the very beginning, watch him come off, make it look like pass to the man-to-man defender. So it looks like pass, see how he goes all the way inside? If he just came off running, then this guy would fall off and go make that tackle on Hurd right now. It's called a crack replace, but he doesn't. He makes him think it's man, he comes off, he gets this block, he actually takes 2 guys out of the play, because watch him, they both get in the way. 82, downfield gets another one, takes 3 guys out of the play, and allows Jalen to get all the way down the field. Good call on 3rd and 6, great execution by number 1, making a play. Jalen Hurd had a great football game. Congratulations to Jalen Hurd, our AutoZone player of the game. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone.
The Vols rushed for more than 119 yards yesterday, which means Tennessee fans get a free medium hot or iced coffee via the Dunkin' Donuts mobile app today. Available at participating locations in East and Middle Tennessee.
Time now for Exact Science, brought to you by Humana, your partner in health.
J-Rob, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. When you see this, what's the first thing you think?
Mexican food.
Mexican food. So we have tortillas. So of course the first thing everybody thinks is Mexican food.
Right.
Well, we're going to do a whole bunch of different things with tortillas because it doesn't always have to be Mexican food. So the first thing we're going to do is make a pesto chicken flatbread pizza. Sound pretty good?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with some marinara sauce and some pesto sauce. So go ahead and put that on there. And then as you're working on that, I'm just gonna continue through. We are gonna do a pizza quesadilla. With this pizza quesadilla, we're just gonna start out with the pizza sauce.
How much sauce should I put on this?
Are you saucy or are you not as saucy? Like when you eat pizza, do you like it pretty saucy?
I like it pretty saucy.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're saucy anyway, so that's perfect then. Okay, so for our pizza quesadilla, a little cheese and pepperoni. This is what our flatbread pizza looks like. I mean, that is amazing. That can be perfect for a snack, great protein, great carbs. Doesn't that smell awesome?
Yes.
It's too bad everybody else
Smells
can
great.
smell it. So, another thing that we have are tacos because tortillas are for what kind of food?
Mexican.
Yes. So, one little trick, I like corn tortillas for tacos because they're lighter. They're not as heavy and as dense as sometimes your flour tortillas are. So, one of the problems though with them is that they crumble. So an easy way to make sure that they don't crumble is you just heat them in your skillet. So just let them get nice and soft. And then you have your cheese and your ground beef and you have tacos. The last thing that we have is a breakfast wrap. So we all know a lot of times now people will use tortillas as wraps as well. So we have turkey sausage, scrambled eggs, and cheese. That can be perfect for a nighttime snack. It can be good for part of a meal, that sort of thing. All right, J-Rob, I'm gonna let you try some of this stuff. Woo! Do you need a fork, or are you good?
I'm good. I'm just gonna get after it.
Of course you are. Pretty good?
Pretty good.
So J-Rob, there we go. Different varieties, different variations of how to use a tortilla. Think you can do this on your own?
I can try.
Good. That's what I want to hear.
You know, Coach, during training camp, it's easy to kind of monitor their food in mid-season into the end of the season. That's when it's really important.
Well, it is, especially with the weather change and everything that's going on. And Allison does a great job of really monitoring everything that they put in their bodies. And it's a full year education value system that we give them, is constantly educating them on what they need and how they fuel their bodies.
When we come back, we'll talk Tennessee defense here on the Butch Jones Show.
Fans, please direct your attention to the screen for today's Loyal Fan of the Game, brought to you by Hyundai. Vol fans are loyal. Hyundai fans are loyal too. Enough to be ranked #1 in customer loyalty 6 years in a row.
The Butch Jones Show is being delivered by UPS. From figuring it out to getting it done, UPS is here to help. Visit solvers.ups.com to learn more. By Hyundai, proud supporter of college football and loyal fans everywhere. By Eastman Chemical Company, promoting sustainability. Remember, good sports always recycle. And by Farm Bureau Health Plans. We've got you covered. Get a rate quote online at fbhealthplans.com or at your local Tennessee Farm Bureau office.
One of the things in the Tennessee-Arkansas game, a very physical game against a very big and tough offensive line. How does your defense hold up, and do you think your team got tougher going against that Arkansas offense?
I do, and a lot of learning lessons, and it was a very, very physical football game right now. This week and moving forward is going to be critical for our health and getting our health back. And a lot of our young defensive tackles and defensive linemen, had to go up against a junior, senior dominated offensive line that has a mentality to run the football. And I thought they took some steps in moving forward, but just the overall execution of fundamentals, as we all know when you watch the game, way too many missed tackles. And, there's a technique involved too, and a lot of of it too is just swarming to the football. But I thought at the stages of the game, our defense got off the field. They did give us an opportunity to win the football game. But winning football games, it still comes down to one-on-one matchups. We can talk scheme and all that we want, but as you know, football is a game of one-on-one matchups, and you have to play complementary football where all three phases complement each other: offense, defense, and special teams. And when we've played our best football this year, we've played complementary football.
You can't emulate on the practice field what those young players saw against the Razorbacks on the game field.
Well, you can't. And as we continue to grow our program, the closest thing you can get to it is getting to a full allotment of 85 scholarships, having that competitive depth across the board. So when you do go scout teams, you know, you're trying to simulate that as much as possible. We've done more good on good in what we call service periods this year, where the one defense will go against the two offense and vice versa, just to try to get those quality repetitions for our players.
Let's take a look inside Tennessee's defense again with Eric Ainge.
Thanks, Bob. The first play we're going to look at on defense is 3rd and short. The second one is 1st and 10. Remember that. 3rd and short, 1st and 10. So let's go ahead and let this run one time. Great play, great penetration by Vereen. Great tackle by Maven. So when we take it back, let's look at the front. Under 5-3. Under means the line is slid weak. Over means the line would be slid strong. Even would mean these two big D tackles right here would be evenly split on their guards. Okay, now they're in 12 personnel. 1 running back, 2 tight ends. 1 running back, tight end, tight end. They got their 2 receivers up top. Now we have the line slid weak, under. We have the linebacker, Sam Backer, brought up here. That becomes the 5th D lineman in this case. And then we have the linebackers that called boss. When you boss the backers, you move them strong. When you bow the backers, you kick them weak and you bring the safety down on this side. We have Randolph over here weak, so we boss the backers strong, bring the safety down in here weak, and we have an under 5-3 front to their 12 personnel. The only thing you can't have on a gap trap play, which is what they're running, watch them as we run it this one more time, watch this guard try to pull, is inside penetration with the running back having nowhere to go. Great job by Vereen getting in the backfield. Great job by Maben. Watch him fast flow, cutting right there, right behind, getting in the backfield, tripping up Collins, making a great play, tackle for loss on a 3rd and short. Good job by those guys. Now we said on this next one it was going to be 1st and 10. Now this is a little different. We'll let this one run out. Good job by TK Jr. on that one. 1st and 10, we can't have all the guys down in the box. So here you go, you got them both back here. So now we take a look. Same front. Line slid weak. 1, 2, 3 guys slid to the weak side. 2 backers evenly split. Now we can't boss or bow them because we don't have a safety already predetermining that he's going to line up in the box. If we bow him and bring a guy down, or if we boss him and bring a guy down, but we have both of these safeties lining up at about 8 to 10 yards and we're playing quarters. Quarter, quarter, and this guy has a quarter and this guy has a quarter, but they're just playing press to take away the easy throw. Great job, great scheme. And then when this guy comes this way, fast flow, fast flow. We essentially have 9 guys in the box on this play. Coming backside, forcing them inside. Good job by TK Jr. Great tackle by those guys. Another tackle for loss on 1st and 10. So 3rd and short, we went ahead and lined the guy up. 1st and 10, we had to keep the safeties back. Good tackles. Good job by the D lineman getting penetration. That's it for defense, Bob. We'll be right back.
No matter the day, it's always football time in Tennessee. Join the Vol Network each weekday at Calhoun's on the River for Vol Calls. Talk Tennessee football with head coach Butch Jones. Vol Calls, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. on the Vol Network. You asked, he'll answer. This is Ask the Coach, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Check them out at academy.com/vols for your chance to win Tennessee football tickets. No purchase necessary.
John Bryce joins us for this segment. And, Coach, this is from Max Harper. The question, Evan Berry Another kickoff return for a touchdown. What has made him so special and the special team so special this year?
We spend an inordinate amount of time on our special teams game, and it's everyone understanding their role. And we talked about Evan earlier in the segment, does a great job, has great instincts, a great feel for it. But, you know, we talk about individuals, they may only have 8 to 10 snaps throughout the course of a game on special teams, but you be the best at your position. And we work their craft each and every day, and our kids are doing a great job in performing those traits and those qualities that's needed to play winning football on special teams.
Coach, obviously you need leadership now more than ever in your football team and your football program. I watched Alvin Kamara a couple of different times Saturday night get into the defensive huddle in the fourth quarter and try to encourage his teammates. How much do you encourage that from Alvin moving forward? How much more of that do you need team-wide?
We need much more of that. And everyone asks, where do you go from here? You just keep working. But our competitive character is on stage right now. Our leadership is on stage, and it's at the forefront. And we're going to meet this afternoon, and we're going to talk about that and how we continue to move forward. A lot of football left to be played, but it has to start internally, and it has to start with everyone holding each other accountable, including myself, our coaches, everyone. And we need to have everyone in that room together, but it does. And when you see individuals getting into each other's huddle, Jalen Reeves-Maben was doing the same thing. Now we need more of that. We need more of that self-determination.
Georgia comes in this week. Big challenge. They're coming off a disappointing loss. Now both of these teams have a challenge this week to get back up, but this is a very important game for Tennessee.
Very important game, and it's an opportunity, again, another conference game playing in Neyland Stadium. And so, again, we have to go back to work today immediately and continue to correct our deficiencies, continue to improve, and that's all you can do is go back to work each and every day. And sooner or later, the tide's going to turn. We're being tested right now, and you find out who's with you. You find out who's all in, and individuals expose themselves in a good way, a poor way, and how can we get better. But I feel very confident that we have good kids in our program, good character in our program, that know it's an honor and a privilege to play here, just like it is to coach here, and we just have to keep working.
Coach, have a good week, and good luck against Georgia.
Thank you.
Talk to you next week. Coach Butch Jones, and we'll continue and look ahead to Georgia in a moment here on The Butch Jones Show.
The Butch Jones Show is being brought to you by Humana. Over 50 years of experience in the healthcare industry. Humana, your partner in health. By Vol Network Home Entertainment. Available at participating Walmart locations and online at volnetwork.tv. And by the Tennessee Lottery. Proud to have raised over $3.4 billion for education in Tennessee. Time now for the First Tennessee First Look. A scouting report and look ahead at the Vols' upcoming opponents. Brought to you by First Tennessee, the official bank of the Vols.
Tennessee's next opponent, the Georgia Bulldogs, will come in next Saturday at 3:30. Georgia lost to Alabama, and John, I don't think anybody's surprised maybe that Georgia lost that game, but how they lost the game to Alabama. Alabama just dominated.
Absolutely, Bob, and that was a close contest early in the first half for several minutes, a 3-3 ball game, and then Alabama just blew it wide open as we look at the video here of Nick Chubb. And he closed Saturday afternoon, Bob, with 146 rushing yards against the Crimson Tide, but on 19 carries, he was held to 63 yards. He broke one 83-yard run. Tennessee has to make Chubb work for everything that he gets Saturday as the Georgia Bulldogs visit Neyland Stadium. Georgia has shown that it's not that adept passing the football once its running game is taken away. That's how Alabama blew that contest open.
Well, Georgia's strength has always been play action pass, and if they can't throw the ball, that makes it very difficult. They can stack up on the run, and as you said, that's what Alabama did. And
interestingly enough, Mark Richt opted during Saturday's game to bench his starting quarterback Grayson Lambert in favor of Bryce Ramsey. Bryce Ramsey came in and threw a couple of interceptions, did not perform well at all. Mark Richt went back to his starting quarterback Grayson Lambert, the transfer from Virginia. It will be an interesting dynamic for the Bulldogs this week to see how much Grayson Lambert's confidence was shaken by that move, how the Bulldogs rally. I know they were still talking very vocally after the contest about, hey, until somebody tells us we can't win the SEC East, we're going to go try and compete for the SEC East. Tennessee has a chance to be a huge impediment to Georgia's path.
Well, obviously Tennessee got a good dose of the running game against Arkansas, so that should help them a little bit getting ready for the physicality, stopping Georgia's run.
Yeah, and I don't think that Georgia has two backs that will punish Tennessee's defense the way that Arkansas's two running backs did. And I do believe that Tennessee will be better tested for that. And I haven't seen as much out of Grayson Lambert against quality competition as the Arkansas quarterback. And so, once again, the formula will be very similar for Tennessee. The Vols need to get up early and find a way to not only to maintain and sustain that, but to accentuate it as well and keep piling on. That's the next step for this Tennessee football team and football program.
Well, you go back and look at the first half against Arkansas. If you don't fumble going into the red zone, you kick the field goal, it's a whole different game.
Well, Tennessee's coaches and players have to feel like they left 10 or 17 points on the field just in the first half, Bob, with the punt return called back for a touchdown, the fumble inside the 10-yard line, the field goal clanked off the upright. This is not a Tennessee team, even when it's fully healthy, this is not a Tennessee team that's good enough or built enough in the program to leave 17 points on the field. But with all the injuries that have mounted, then Tennessee has to maximize every single scoring opportunity. When it doesn't do that, it puts itself in position to lose.
Two leading receivers in the game against Arkansas were running backs for Tennessee. Got to start getting the ball to the wide receivers more, and I know that's something they've stressed. It just isn't happening right now.
Yeah, and Bob, it's really sort of one of those unfortunate stats, but Tennessee has one touchdown reception by a wideout against a Power 5 team this year. That was Josh Malone's early touchdown catch against Oklahoma, and Tennessee hasn't had a touchdown reception by a receiver against a major conference opponent since then. The Vols have to get the passing game on track. There were a lot of opportunities there Saturday night that Tennessee missed on for various reasons.
But still, you look, the injuries at the wideout position have been a problem. Marquez North, Alton Pig Howard, Jonathan Johnson, none of those guys have been really healthy all season.
Yeah, nobody wants to really hear about it, but injuries are playing a major role on this team on both sides of the football right now. I mean, with the absence of Kurt Maggitt and Rashawn Golden on the defensive side of things, and then those injuries that you just referenced, not to mention Marcus Jackson. That's probably not been talked about enough. That Marcus Jackson injury looms larger and larger each and every week.
So this is another big game. They're all big, but again, just to get back on track with an off day and then Alabama looming in the future. I mean, this really, the focus is on Georgia. This is a big, big game for this team.
Tennessee desperately needs something positive to happen and needs some sort of momentum that it can take into that open week and have 2 weeks to prepare for Alabama before, again, another grueling stretch of the season.
And Tennessee's got some guys banged up. Kyle Phillips, we'll learn about him this week. Also Dylan Wiseman, so they got to get healthy too.
Yeah, again, get healthy. Nobody's going to feel sorry for them. They just have to try and find some answers.
Yeah, indeed. So Tennessee, another challenge is the Volunteers back home Saturday against the Georgia Bulldogs. It's a 3:30 kickoff at Neyland Stadium. Thanks for being with us. For John Bryce and Coach Jones, I'm Bob Kessling, and we will see you next week with Georgia highlights here on the Butch Jones Show.
This has been a presentation of the Vol Network, produced by IMG, the world's premier sports, media, and entertainment company. Produced at the Hand Digital Studio.